everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with Amy and we're filming our version of Hot Ones! Over the holidays, I binged a shit ton of Hot Ones episodes and we're both huge fans of the show. So we decided to film our own version of Hot Ones where we ask each other questions while eating some spicy ass wings. We actually already filmed round 1 on Amy's channel where we asked each other questions too, and now we're gonna do a round 2. So we've already gone through all of these and now we're gonna do it all over again.
Yeah, our stomach is like
yeah, like my insides are hot but my outside is cold.
We have boba at the ready and I'm already I never drink this much boba.
So we have
6 flavors.
Yeah, 6 flavors, and we have a bunch of ranch here. Medium, hot,
barbecue,
mango, habanero, wild and blazing.
Okay.
So let's get started.
Alrighty, here we go. Alright, cheers.
Cheers.
Okay. What keeps you, Sandy Lynn, up at night?
I always say like, sometimes I have so many thoughts that they become no thoughts because they're like racing so quickly that I don't focus on one, like it just jumps.
Do you have trouble sleeping at night?
Okay, so here's the thing that I do. I've noticed recently, I just get so tired at night that I don't even think, like I just fall asleep. Part of me wonders if that's more of like a defense mechanism so I don't think so much, and that's why I'm such a night owl.
Oh,
like,
so you sleep only when you're exhausted.
Yeah, like sometimes I'll be like, I'm just gonna lay down because I feel tired but I'm not ready to like get ready for bed and go through that like come down moment because I feel like that's when you spend a lot of time thinking. So usually I like will work or like will do something until I'm completely
5 a.m.
exhausted.
And then you just pass out.
Yeah.
So you kind of shut off rather than...
I just shut off. Like force myself to shut off because I'm just so tired.
So why do you stay up till 5 every day then? What do you think are you running from?
I don't think I'm like running from anything. Like I didn't know that I was doing that. I haven't like I haven't thought about that like because I haven't done it. So now I'm like, am I doing it intentionally or is it just
subconsciously?
Yeah, subconsciously, you know?
Yeah, you do stay up late so much.
Yeah, I've always been such a night owl, and like when I stay up till 5, I'm like doing things that I want to do, like editing or like things that I love.
Sandy things.
Yeah, Sandy things.
Checking the gram,
like watching TV, binging,
Netflix.
like yeah.
Sandy's always like, I watched this new show, I watched this new movie, and I'm always just like, how does she have time? And I'm like, it's because she's sleeping at 5 a.m. when I'm like sleeping. And I'm like, dang. And she does it while doing other things too. So yeah, she is a night owl. By the way, this tastes like fucking air. After doing this.
Okay, next wing.
Hot BBQ, right?
Amy, what do you think people most misunderstand about you? Or what do you wish people took the time to get to know about you?
I'm a very like blunt and straightforward person, and I think it's because like growing up, like my mom doesn't know how to say things lightly or politely, and so I think I picked that up from her. I've always been really direct and blunt and straightforward. In high school, when you're young, like people will always say one thing and then say another behind your back. But if I had a problem with you, I would just say, you're mean. I would just basically take my problems to the person. People would say I'm a bitch or whatever, but actually I only have one face. I only know how to be myself. I only know how to say what I feel. And so it goes the other way too. It's like if I say something nice to you, you know I really mean it because I would never say something I don't mean. But growing up, I feel like people always thought I was really mean-spirited because of my honesty. And I think as I get older, people appreciate it more now, thank God. Because my intentions are always good. Like I never want to intentionally hurt someone, but I do know that in the way that I might say something, like my delivery or my tone of voice, it can come off as really, really harsh. So I think anyone who takes the time to understand that like I'm genuinely here just to support people, and even if I say things a little bit more sassy or like you know, it's like it's coming from a good place because like at the end of the day, if I didn't care about you, I wouldn't even bother to like put myself in that situation where it's like, fuck, I'm hurting her feelings, you know what I mean? Now I know how to say things nicely, but I think the delivery of my actual voice, speaking softly, speaking slowly will definitely help. And I think that's when I'm like older in life, I want to get to that level of being able to say things softly, nicely, with the right words. That's a lot, you know?
It is hard.
Yeah.
Should I eat the next wing?
Yeah, I don't want this more. Okay, I think this one's really spicy because it's so saucy.
Yeah,
like, look how
exactly.
Saucy. I know your parents have played a really big role in, I mean, as in anyone's life, but especially yours. Tell me the biggest impact of your parents on you as an adult, and it can be good or bad.
I mean, there's so many. Like, it's hard to choose one.
What's the first thing that comes to mind?
The first thing that comes to mind is that they never made me feel like I couldn't do something because I'm a woman. Like, as I've gotten older and you just hear so much about the media and what other girls and other women go through, like, they never made me feel less than or I wasn't capable of something because I was female. Like, I've had really strong like female role models in my life. One thing that's really crazy to me though, that my dad used to always tell me when I was younger was like, you should be an entrepreneur, Sandy. He used to tell me that all the time, like since I was really young, and I always thought like, I don't want to do that, I don't want to be that. And then
that's
now
so cool though.
Yeah, it is really cool, and I didn't appreciate that at the time because I just
he believed in you.
Yeah, like he believed in me. And like even my grandparents, like when I was younger, they used to tell me like, you could be president one day, Sandy. And I was like,
wow, I've never been told that.
And I was so young, so I was like, what are they thinking about? So I do feel like they really like do believe in me a lot, and just more than I ever thought. They believe in me more than I believe in myself. So it was just,
wow, that's so not relatable for me. I feel like if I told my mom I was gonna be president, she'd be like, you really want to do that?
that's the first time I said it out loud, because it's even embarrassing to say that like my grandparents thought I was gonna be president one day.
They said you could be, which is like whether or not you want to.
Yeah, but actually thinking about it, that's wild, because they came from China, like they immigrated here from China, and
we still have not had a female president in America,
and let alone Asian. So the fact that they were saying that to me when I was like 10 years old, like
either delusional or really believing.
Yeah. Like, that's why I've never said it, because I was like, y'all are delusional, man. But I understand where that comes from now, and it's like the belief that they had in me. Now being older and realizing how difficult it is to change the status quo, that's awesome, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How empowering. Well, at the time, Sandy didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm so full.
I'm so freaking full.
I'm full. This is like the B-roll.
Because I wasn't spicy anymore.
It's because, dun, dun, dun.
I know. What is your most irrational fear?
Love.
How did I not know that one?
Wait, you really didn't know?
I didn't even think about it.
Definitely love and everything that encompasses that. Like falling in love, being heartbroken, unrequited love, even love that's like everlasting but platonic scares me. Everything about love in its totality scares me because it's so irrational, illogical, cannot be explained, it's not quantifiable. It's like the one thing that no matter how many times you theorize, which I've theorized a lot, it doesn't make sense, and it never will make sense. And I think it's like so based on an inexplicable feeling and action. It's like everything and nothing all at once. You know what I mean? Depending on how dark you are. And so I feel like because it's like not quantifiable, not something that we can study. I mean, people have tried to study it, but something that I've learned, because I feel like I've always wanted to like theorize in love rather than partake in it. But now that I've done both, it's like, why do we even waste our time trying to like quantify it or like understand it? Because it's just a feeling, it's an action, it's a noun, and it's just like something that I feel like fuels all of human, like just all of our intentions, and our entire society is like based on this one feeling. And like I think that's why we like focus on it so much, and like why some people escape it, why some people run towards it, why some people die from it, because it surrounds us in all the ways. It's like a magical force and being that I think the scientist in me and both the feeler in me, my Pisces moon, they're just freaked out. Like I just, like some days I want to run away from it and other days I want to run towards it. But most days I want to run towards it. Yeah. So that's my irrational fear. Are we on the spicy one? Oh, we are.
It's not too bad this time.
Yeah. I think we're just like
desensitized.
Yeah. What is the most important thing a person can do to improve themselves? And tell me about, like, just in general, but then also tell me about what you think you can do to improve overall as a person. So they can be two separate things. Personal and then overall.
One is having an open mind. Like just being receptive to like the outputs. Inputs.
Other people's thoughts, feelings, actions.
Yeah, everything.
City.
Yeah.
Amy serves it to her. Yes.
I'm taking it.
Thoughts, actions, feelings. Yeah.
Just being open-minded. I think that's really important. If you're closed-minded to what others have to say and feel, everything, then like you're already creating a wall for yourself. I think another thing is also forgiving yourself for like your past, like not holding on to regrets or like thinking about things that like you could have done better, you should have done better, because the more you hold on to that and the more you hold regret for it, you don't forgive yourself and you don't allow yourself to go past that and say like, I've changed, you know, because you're still thinking like, but I was this way back then. I think my family sometimes still thinks that like I'm the 7-year-old girl who like doesn't know much and like lashes out and is like super bratty, but it's like I was 7 then. Like I'm like decades older now, and like give me a chance to like learn and grow and be someone new and be a better person. But that also like can come internally too, right? Like I don't have to be the 7-year-old girl that they think that I am. So like you don't have to hold on to your past and like what you did
and judge yourself for it.
Yeah, and judge yourself for it. Like if you want to grow and improve, you have to especially you have to let that go. And so I think those two things are really important. Like obviously self-awareness is one, and just like, yeah, being open-minded to change, willingness to change, and then just forgiving yourself for whatever mistake or whatever thing you're holding on to from your past. Okay, my last question for Amy. There are 2 types of people in this world. What are the 2 types to you? Like how do you classify them?
I think there are a lot of binaries, but I think the heard and the unheard. And I mean that in like all senses, like marginalized communities with no voices, like POC, immigrants, and also people, just like people you know closely. There are friends you have that are heard, and you have other friends that are unheard. And politics, heard, not heard.
Yeah.
Music, some musicians listen to all around the world top 40 artists. People who are gems, you just never heard of their music. And I think so much of our world and our angst and our anger, our repression, our depression, our anxiety, loneliness, everything that we feel both negatively and positively about is literally just being listened to and not being listened to. Because for me, it's like whether or not you feel a certain way, it hurts the most when someone doesn't even try to like hear you. It doesn't matter if you understand me or not, because I get that empathy is something people lack, and also empathy is something that can be trained. It's a muscle you have to train over and over again, and also something that you can't really teach, I feel. So I just feel like if someone takes the time to just hear you out, like whether or not they empathize or understand you, doesn't matter. It's like whether or not someone looks me in the eye and they're like, I have no idea what you're going through, but I just want to hear you out. And I feel like that's why people like riot, that's why we protest, because our like demands and wishes are not being heard. And so I hope that everybody once in their life is at least heard or listened to, because like as humans, that's the least we can do.
Yeah, that's crazy, because I was thinking how full circle it comes, because I think social media gives people that platform to be heard.
I was really thinking about that the other day, how it's like such a democratizing space in the sense that even the most feeble, most insecure, most like abnormal person can feel heard. Yeah.
And how like a lot of YouTubers started, at least the ones that I follow, started because they felt like their interests or who they were going unheard, and that's where they could show a different side of themselves and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Even just being Asian American and being female is like 2 minorities that in a traditional space, Sandy and I would have no voice. Honestly, in Hollywood, no voice. These days, we have voices. Like,
I know.
It's so crazy. And like without YouTube, like who would have thought that like Asian American females who love fashion and beauty and just like are these multi-dimensional characters, as most people are, they like have success on the internet. And I feel like that's so important. Like the internet is like, it gave people so many voices, both good and bad.
Yeah, those are all the questions.
It's not as bad as the second time.
Not as bad as the second time. I feel like I'm not suffering as much. But yes, that's it. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to check out the first half of this video on Amy's channel. Check out Amy's channel too. Like watch her videos if you haven't. Why haven't you? Like super talented, amazing content. So I will link it. I will link it down below. And thanks for joining.